Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Somnium Files. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. We are currently at the Sagan residence. Because we have some questions.
I apologize for yesterday. I arrived uninvited.
No, I'm grateful. Thanks to you, Mizuki has her voice back.
No, I didn't do anything.
Do you have the day off?
Yes, today's a holiday. Iris isn't in school. She went to Lemniscate.
Yeah, I saw her earlier.
Is that so?
About her?
I've put Iris through so much. I was 19 and single when she was born. People didn't take kindly to that. But Iris was such a fighter. She always protected me. I remember, one time at the nursery, some of the other mothers were talking about me. Iris ran up to them and said, "Don't talk about my mommy!" I'm supposed to be the mother, but it's Iris who's always protecting me.
What about your parents?
They died when I was 17. I was an orphan, and my relatives lived far away. They might have taken me in, but I was already in my second to last year of high school. It wasn't a good idea for me to move that late. So I decided to stay here, by myself.
And take care of Iris.
Yes, all alone. But Renju would help sometimes.
Where is Renju? So about her.
It was always just me and her. Vacations, barbecues, zoos, amusement parks. Just me and her. Oh, that reminds me. When Iris was 5, there was a children's theater show in Bloom Park. It was called Milky Moon. It was about girls as magical space rangers and such. She loved singing and dancing, even as a kid. Whenever she heard music, her body would start moving. It was a quirk of hers.
Why do you sound so sad?
And she did it at the show, too. Toward the end, when all the Milky Moon girls were dancing to the ending song, Iris climbed up onto the stage and danced with them. I tried to stop her, of course. I grabbed her arm and tried to get her to sit, but before I knew it, she was up there, dancing. And everyone was so excited. Even I was dancing by the end of it. When it was over, she had the biggest smile on her face. "Mama, you're a good dancer." That's the kind of girl she was. Whenever she sees someone playing music on the street, she'll run up and join them, right then and there. Music at the train station, the crosswalk beeping, even at convenience stores, when their little chime played, she would start dancing. It almost got her into trouble once. She was on the jungle gym and a truck drove by. It was playing loud music out the windows. She climbed up to the top and started dancing, but she lost her balance and fell. She fractured her leg pretty badly. It was on a Sunday, and it was hard to find an open emergency care. I was carrying her on my back, running and running through town. I could still hear her crying. "Will I still be able to dance, Mommy? Can I still dance?" She cried and cried into my shoulder. It was the only time she ever cried so much. No, that's not true. There was one other time.
Hey, Tommy, why are you telling me all this? What was the other time?
6 years ago, I was the victim of a shooting. After the surgery, Iris came in running, and she was sobbing.
Mommy, don't die! Don't die! Please don't die, Mommy! Don't die!
I swore to myself then that I would protect her, no matter what.
Hitomi, if I'm doing the math right, Iris was 8. He is 18 now, which means she was 12 at the time of this shooting. You probably should have sworn to protect your child before that.
Iris is everything to me. More important than my own life.
Can we talk about Renju now?
You asked me that yesterday.
There's no point hiding it. I told her about Renju's disappearance.
Right from the hospital? I'm sorry. I have no idea.
Alright, well.
Iris must really enjoy dancing,
Yeah.
though her drawing skills could use some work.
Drawing skills?
Look at the drawing on the wall.
I've been wondering about that picture.
Iris drew it when she was 12.
That's you on the left and Iris in the middle, correct?
Yes,
And who's on the right?
the man I was dating at the time. It was only for 3 months, but
But?
I met him about 6 years ago. Have you been to the Kume Shrine in the Minato district? I was praying there one day, and I heard a voice. Well, more like a groan. Behind the shrine, I saw a man sitting on the ground. He was bleeding badly from his stomach. I took out my phone to call an ambulance, but he grabbed my wrist, and he held me, and then he kissed me.
That's not a normal meet cute, Hitomi.
I was shocked, but when I stared into his eyes, then I heard footsteps, and then a bunch of men yelling. They were looking for him. When the voices and footsteps faded, he let me go. Don't call an ambulance, and don't call the cops. I knew he had to be a criminal, so I took him to an underground clinic I knew.
Why do you know underground clinics? What the fuck?
You took him to a mob doctor?
Renju's friend. I only met him once. Even though we had our first kiss seconds after meeting each other, it took a long time before I got to see him again. The first time we held hands was when we watched a horror movie together. The first time I took his arm was when we went to a haunted house in an amusement park. But I wasn't the one who grabbed him. A zombie jumped out and scared us, and he clung onto my arm. He had that cute side to him, and I was falling in love. Our second kiss was in the car. It's cliché, I know, but we drove around at night, looking at all the lights. We parked our car near a warehouse and kissed.
Which warehouse?
I don't think we ever said I love you, but we both knew. We were getting closer and closer. I introduced him to Iris about a month after I first met him. Iris never had a father figure in her life before. She warmed up to him immediately and treated him like a real dad. From then on, it was always the three of us together. We would go to the beach, to the river, the zoo, the amusement park. Going to barbecues with another person was a new experience for me and Iris. Everything felt so fresh. Every day was so exciting. Oh, sorry. You asked about the picture. He wanted to make okonomiyaki one day. He was working with the hot plate. It was ridiculous. He was trying to flip one, and it flew up in the air and landed right on my head. Iris saw the whole thing and laughed and laughed. I hadn't seen her laugh like that in a long time. I was having so much fun that I put an okonomiyaki on their heads too. Plop, plop. I added the bonito flakes and mayo and sauce. At this point, there was no going back. Eggs flew, flour going everywhere. The room was not a pretty sight. After our battle, we laughed like crazy. We were rolling around on the floor. So Iris decided to draw it. It's nostalgic. But those days didn't last. 6 years ago, In November, a man with a gun broke into our house. Fortunately, Iris wasn't home at the time, but my boyfriend was. That's why the gunman came. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill him, and he would never stop. He pulled the trigger. I tried to protect him. The bullet hit me, but the police arrived. They were both arrested and incarcerated.
Why was he after your boyfriend?
Before he met me, he committed some terrible crime. I don't know the details, but it was awful. So he became a target for underworld criminals. I don't know exactly why, but I know that he betrayed them in some way.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
I had heard that that incident was a random break-in gone wrong.
Oh. That's not true. I lied about it at the time, because of Mizuki. Mizuki is Iris's friend. If she found out, Iris would find out too.
Oh.
I didn't want Iris to know.
Know what?
That I was dating a criminal. He was her father figure. Iris looked up to him. If she found out about his past...
There's a drawing on the wall. Iris drew it when she was 12.
Date, we can't spend time reminiscing.
Who's reminiscing, Iva?
We have to get moving.
Yeah, let's go.
So Sajima is a key person of interest in this case. Earlier, the boss cited 3 points of suspicion against him, and I agree with her assessment. I checked the call logs of So's phones. Congressman Sajima has 1 phone under his name, and a burner phone rented under a fake name.
Did you find anything interesting?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn.
Really?
But I do have something. I looked into So's secretary's phone. 1 call in particular stood out to me.
Huh?
It was 1 week ago, from Fuchu Prison.
From Fuchu Prison?
The caller identified themselves as inmate number 89.
Number 89?
Yes. This is most likely the same person who called HQ.
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
What's 89's name?
Unknown.
You don't know?
He is not registered in any databases.
What?
He could be a foreigner or recent immigrant, but it would be impossible to determine from where. However, I did not detect any accent in his speech. I believe we can conclude that he grew up in Japan.
What's he in jail for?
Murder. He is serving a life sentence for multiple counts. He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
From what I can determine, he is an assassin. He accepts jobs from the criminal underworld for substantial rewards. His code name is Falco.
Falco?
Correct.
Uh-oh. So what's their relationship?
Unknown. You would have to ask Mr. Sajima for that information.
Number 89 said he knew who killed Shoko.
He did. But that may be a lie.
Does he have any connections to the Cyclops serial killings?
Unknown. In all honesty, I have no idea.
Well, summarize it.
Number 89.
Should we visit Fuchu Prison?
No, we don't have time. Call up boss. Tell her to request that number 89 be brought to Abyss.
Roger.
I heard there was no body found at the cold storage warehouse.
Well, that should be a fun... This should be a fun conversation for next time. Thank you all for coming out for this episode of the Somnium Files. I hope that you're enjoying this mystery as it continues to mystery. Remember, the hearth is warmer for your presence, and you're always welcome here. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!